Let's take a look at how to create some different types of text boxes inside of a form in Acrobat. Now I have a form here. It's just basically a photograph, scanned image, and I'm just going to place some form controls right over the top of the existing controls that we have here. To get started with this, I'm going to come out to my Tools pane and click on Prepare Form. Now from here I see my document loaded, and if I take a look down here at the bottom I can see that the form field auto detection is turned off, so the wizard will not be invoked and I can just go right into the document here. I'm going to go ahead and click on Start, and I see some alignment and distribution tools here, so as I place these controls on the form I can line them up, do some different things. My toolbar at the top, I see I have a text box, checkbox, radio button. I have a list box, a list of choices. I have a drop-down combo box, which is just a combo text box, list box. I have a button tool I can use. And then finally I have the ability to write in a signature field. And also there's a barcode feature as well if you're going to be using that, but we won't be using these today. We're just going to use the list box, the combo box, radio button checkbox, and the text box. But in this lesson we're going to be using the text box only. I'll start by coming up here and clicking once on my text box, and then if you can see my blue dashed lines, that's going to be the top left corner of my text box, and I'm just going to click to try and cover up this guy, and I'm going to just cover up the whole thing here and let go, and it fires it up ready for a name. And I can go in and work with the properties here as well, but I'm just going to click away from this guy, and there's my text box. Now from here I have several I'm going to make. I have this one here, so that's two. That's a drop down. That's so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I have 7 of these things to make ultimately. I'm just going to click on this guy right here and just say Control C on Windows and Control V to make a copy of this thing. And I'll do a Control V again. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And from here I'm just going to take this guy up, drop it there. I'll take this guy up and drop it on top there. I'm going to use this guy down at the bottom someplace. I'm going to use this guy over here, this guy up at the top here. It looks like I got to make one more. So getting these guys going. All right, so next I'm just going to go ahead and resize these. I can just resize them by grabbing the top handles or the side handles and move these things around. And I'm just going to adjust these and put these all where they need to go. So I'll do that next and then come back. Okay, so I've lined everything up. Looks like this guy is going to have a number inside of it. These two will have to be formatted with dates, and the rest of these can go ahead and just be regular text entries. All right, so I'm going to come back and name each one of these. And to do this, I'll just go ahead and double click on my first one, and it brings up the field properties. And since I see that this one's called name, I'm just going to call it the same thing. I'll just call it name up here at the top. There's nothing else really to do. We can adjust the position, we can adjust the appearance of the background, whatever we want. Under options, I can have it check the spelling. I can have it be a multi-line text box, which I'm not going to do. We can scroll long text so that if we'll get a scroll bar, we'll be able to scroll through and it'll just page underneath as we go along. Any actions, we're not going to apply any macro type actions on here. The format for this guy is none, although a little later on we will be using date and also a number out here. And we're not going to be doing any validation. We'll probably do that when we get out here on the number. We won't be doing any validation here. We're just going to let them go ahead and type in their text, and of course we're not going to do any calculation either. So I'll just fill the rest of these in. I'm going to go ahead and change this one to email, this one to position, this one to the word other, and this one will be like date 1 and date 2, and this will be put in something like total. So again, double click, and over here inside of general, we'll just type in the name and then click on close, and we see it's been named over here. And I'll just finish that off with the rest. Okay, just about finished here. All of these are going to be text. These guys are going to be dates, and this one is going to go ahead and be a number. So I have to set these up with a format. So I'm going to double click this first one, and it comes up. I'm going to come out here to format and say that this is going to be a date field, and I'll pick a format for that date field, and I'll click on close. Although I don't really even have to click on close, I can just come out and click on this guy and change the format for this one as well, which is going to be a date, and I'll choose the same format out here. So don't have to close this box. I can just come out here and click on the fields that I want, and it will go ahead and load the properties dialog, and I can just fill out the way I want. Last one here is going to be the number field. I'm going to click on this guy, and this format's going to be number. And I can set up the decimal places, any separators that I want. If I need a currency symbol, I can put that in here as well. If I want a negative number format style, I can use that out here as well. But I'm going to do some validation out here. I'm going to say that the field value must be in the range from 1 to, and let's just say 30 days. All right, so I'm all set to go with these guys. I'm going to go ahead and click on close. And then to preview this, I can just click on preview. And up here at the top, if I click, I could go ahead and type in some entry if I want. As I press tab, it will just go from field to field to field. I can just tab through these and type away if I need to. Next, I'll come up and do a list box. So this is like a big text box, but you have some the ability to write a list in here if you'd like. So it really depends on your comments here if you want to make a list of comments or a text box. It really just depends. I think I'm just going to leave this as a text box and just come down here and click inside and just drag a box here, and I will give it a name, and I'll just call this comments. And we're done with this guy, so people can just type in comments if they want to.